Hello guys, welcome to another wonderful session of Learning with Prepclass. My name is Tutor Olalekon Israel, your Prepclass tutor, and I am super excited to have you join me in this session. Now in today's session, we will be answering questions from the JAMB English 2019 past questions, question 21 to question 25. Remember, the purpose of this session is to help you prepare for your forthcoming JAMB examinations. Without wasting much time, let's get down to the business of today. Please take a moment to subscribe to this channel, like the video as we go along in this teaching. Question 21. Now the instruction we have reads, in each of the questions 16 to 25. Now because of this video, we are answering just questions 21 to 25. So in each of the questions 21 to 25, choose the option nearest in meaning to the word or phrase in italics. Choose the option nearest in meaning to the word or phrase in italics. So question 21 reads, the old woman is suffering from dementia. The old woman is suffering from dementia. Now the word in italics here is dementia. So we have to select the option that is nearest in meaning to the meaning of dementia. The word that has the nearest meaning to the meaning of dementia. And the options we have are lucidity, civility, insanity, and sagacity. So which of these options is the nearest in meaning to dementia? First, we have to define the word dementia. We have to have an understanding of what dementia means. So let's take a look at the meaning of dementia. Now, dementia is a collective term used to describe various symptoms of cognitive decline. Dementia is a collective term used to describe various symptoms of cognitive decline, such as forgetfulness. Now, cognitive, the word cognitive means relating to a thought process, your thought process. So there's a decline in the thought process. The word cognitive or cognition means the ability to acquire knowledge and to understand. So when there's a cognitive decline, there is a problem in the process of acquiring knowledge and understanding things. So dementia is a collective term used to describe various symptoms of cognitive decline, such as forgetfulness. Now, it is a symptom of several underlying diseases and brain disorders. Emphasis on brain disorders. It is a symptom of several underlying diseases and brain disorders. Now, dementia is not a single disease in itself, but a general term used to describe symptoms of impairments in memory, communication, and thinking. So whoever has dementia has impairment, has issues with their memory. They have issues with their memory. They have issues with communication and thinking. So they can't think clearly. They can't communicate clearly. Dementia is a group of conditions characterized by impairments of at least two brain functions, such as memory loss and judgment. Dementia is a group of conditions characterized by impairment of at least two brain functions, such as memory loss and judgment. So, dementia just relates to having issues with the brain. When people have issues with their brain, they are suffering from dementia. So, symptoms of dementia include forgetfulness. You tend to forget things easily, limited social skills, inability to relate with people properly, and thinking abilities. Symptoms include forgetfulness, limited social skills, and thinking abilities so impaired that it interferes with daily functioning. So, dementia basically means an health condition that has to do with brain disorders. When the brain cannot function well, the patient or the victim of dementia usually deal with memory loss, ability to judge correctly. They have forgetfulness, limited social skills, and thinking abilities. They can't think clearly. So the options we have are lucidity. Lucidity means clearness of thought and style. Remember, dementia means inability to think clearly when you have issues with the brain. So lucidity is more like an antonym for dementia. When you have clearness of thought, you can think clearly. So this is not the answer to this question. Civility means to be polite, to be well-mannered and courteous. Remember, some of the symptoms of dementia include forgetfulness, limited social skills. Now, civility means to be polite, to be well-mannered and courteous. People with limited social skills would have issues being civil. Now, the next option is insanity. Insanity means a severely disordered state of the mind. A severely disordered state of the mind. Insanity, madness, and craziness are terms that describe a spectrum of individual and group behaviors that are characterized by certain abnormal mental or behavioral patterns. Insanity means a severely disordered state of the mind. Now, dementia means when you have brain disorder. So, dementia and insanity are synonymous. Insanity means a severely disordered state of the mind. The person's mind is not in the right place. The person's mind is not functioning properly. Now, remember, dementia has to do with symptoms of several underlying diseases and brain disorders. So when there's actually when a person is suffering from brain disorder, the mind would actually be disordered. So insanity and dementia are synonymous. Insanity, madness, and craziness are terms that describe a spectrum of individual and group behaviors that are characterized by certain abnormal mental or behavioral patterns. So someone that is suffering from insanity would be behaving abnormally with abnormal mental or behavioral patterns. Remember, dementia is not a single disease in itself, but a general term to describe symptoms of impairment in memory, communication, and thinking. You can't communicate properly. You can't think properly. Now, this is the same thing, or this means the same as insanity. Insanity, madness, and craziness are terms that describe a spectrum of individual and group behaviors that are characterized by certain abnormal mental or behavioral patterns. Now, it is not sagacity, because sagacity means having or showing understanding and the ability to make good judgment. So, sagacity can actually be an antonym for dementia, not a synonym. So, the answer to this question is insanity. The old woman is suffering from dementia, ability to think properly, having brain disorders. Insanity also means having a disorder of the mind. Now, the brain controls the mind. Now, if the brain is suffering from disorders, the mind is also in a state of disorder. So, the old woman is suffering from dementia. The answer to this question, which is the nearest in meaning to dementia, is insanity. Right. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 22. Question 22 reads, Laraba saw a forlorn little figure sitting outside the class. Laraba saw a forlorn little figure sitting outside the class. Now, the word in italics here is forlorn. We have to select the option that is nearest in meaning to the word in italics. Now, option A is wise and intelligent. Option B is lovely and unhappy. Option C is smart and healthy. Option D is short and ugly. So, which of these options is the nearest in meaning to forlorn? Now, what is the meaning of forlorn? The word forlorn means to be pitiful, to be sad, to be lonely and abandoned. The word forlorn means to be pitiful, to be sad, to be lonely and abandoned. So, let's create a scenario of a school where you are a senior student, and at the close of school, you are about to leave for home. Then you see a junior student, a very small one, very small in size. You see a junior student sitting outside the class. And you know when you see children, they look very lovely, like, oh, look at how small he is. Now, sitting outside the class, maybe his parents or our parents are yet to come and pick them. So the child is looking sad. So Laraba saw a forlorn little figure sitting outside the class. Forlorn means to be pitiful, to be sad, to be lonely and abandoned. So the answer to this question is lovely and unhappy. The child is small, looking lovely, but it is sad because it's just alone. Wise and intelligent is not the answer. Smart and healthy is not the answer. Short and ugly is not the answer. Remember, forlorn means to be pitiful, to be sad, to be lonely, to be abandoned. Now option B, which is the answer, needs to be lovely and unhappy. Unhappy. Laraba saw a forlorn little figure. So that the fact of being little makes the person we're talking about lovely. But the use of forlorn means the person is sad, unhappy. So the answer is lovely and unhappy. Let's move on to the next question. Question 23. Remember, we have to select the option that is the nearest in meaning to the word in italics. Question 23 reads, the accident victim received a superficial wound from the crash. The accident victim received a superficial wound from the crash. The word in italics here is superficial. So the options we have are A serious, B, a painless, C, an internal, D, an external. So the accident victim received a superficial wound from the crash. So which option is the nearest in meaning to superficial? What does the word superficial mean? Now the word superficial means to exist on surface level, not deep, to be exterior, to be outside. The word superficial means to exist on surface level, exterior, outside. So the accident victim received a superficial wound, a wound on the surface of the skin, a wound that is not deep, an exterior wound, an outside wound, not an internal wound, a superficial. So the answer to this question is an external. The accident victim received a superficial wound from the crash, an external wound, a wound that is just on the surface, not deep. So the answer to this question is the accident victim received a superficial wound from the crash, an external wound from the crash. Right, let's move on to the next question, question 24. Oh, question 24 is inaccessible, but whenever we get access to question 24, we promise to bring them straight to you. Right, let's check the next accessible question, question 25. Now, question 25 reads, accountability is certainly a desirable quality in a politician. Accountability is certainly a desirable quality in a politician. Now, the word in italics here is accountability. Remember, we have to select the option that is nearest in meaning to the word in italics. So option A is responsibility. Option B, respectability. Option C, courage. And option D, diligence. So which of these options is the nearest in meaning to accountability? First, what does accountability mean? Now, the word accountability is the fact or condition of being accountable. Responsibility. So the word accountability is the fact or condition of being accountable, being responsible. Now in ethics and governance, remember in sentence we have a word which is politician. So in ethics and governance, accountability is answerability, blameworthiness, liability, and the expectation of account giving. You should give account of the position or the office you occupy. You should be responsible to that office. There are some things that are expected of you. So you have to be responsible to those your responsibilities. You have to be accountable. You must be able to answer for your actions and inactions. So let's take a look at the options one after the other. Responsibility means the state or fact of being accountable or to be blamed for something. As a politician, you are occupying a political office, so you should be accountable to that office. You should be able to be held responsible for duties of that office. So the answer to this question is responsibility. Now, responsibility means the state or fact of being accountable. Now let's check accountability. The word accountability is the fact or condition of being accountable. Responsibility. So that is the answer to this question. Now, it is not respectability, because respectability means to be decent in character. To be decent in character and behavior, to be worthy of respect. It is not courage, because courage means to be brave, to be fearless. It is not diligence, because diligence means having a careful and persistent behavior to work. You are always at your place of duty, always doing your job. That is diligence. But accountability means what? You should be able to be held responsible for the office you occupy. That is what responsibility. You are responsible to that office. So accountability is certainly a desirable quality in a politician. Okay, so with that, we've come to the end of this wonderful session. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed this video, click on the like button. Do not forget to share. Also, drop your questions in the comment section. Thank you for your time. See you in the next video.